Hey, it's been a while. I know. Listen, I know you all have been kind of wondering where's the F100 world, even though nobody's asked that. But like, hey, I'm gonna explain where I've been. But life's been a thing. I've been focusing on other things that isn't this little virtual Minecraft world recreation, and I'm gonna explain all that today. And wait a minute, that painting looks stranger than usual. Did they change it in the? Wait a minute, why? Did it just move? What? There's nobody else in this game, right? Unless... Who are you? Show yourself! What? Is that?
And Mr. Lost Legacy.
What? Tyler, what are you doing here? And how? This is like an older update. There's no online support because Microsoft disables the update. Whoa.
Well, basically, I just got bored and I thought I'd rock up here because, after I kind of left this project behind for, bigger things, and I decided to come back here and, just sort of talk about the legacy that I guess this world has sort of left behind.
Whoa.
And we've got a lot to talk about.
Just like Lost Legacy?
Yes! the man, the myth, the legacy.
The man, the myth, the legacy. Anyways, yeah, you might be wondering, well, how did you guys do this? This is an older update. There's the old logo. Well, basically, that will be explained in a second. But for now, actually, you know what, screw it, we'll say it really quick. This is a emulator. This is not on real hardware, although there is a way to do it on real hardware, but it's a process because you actually need a modded Xbox.
A good old JTAG.
A good old, or RGH, or whatever. One of those modded Xbox 360s that you could buy if you have the money and you feel like it. But you know what? We will leave the Discord server in the description where you can figure out how to do all this because it is... we don't want to say how to do it, obviously, because like it's a work in progress and sometimes you're bound to like lag out and all that.
Yep. Just like you did now.
I did?
Yeah, the timing on that. Wow.
That was actually perfect timing, yeah. But yeah, obviously it's a work in progress. You can really tell. Also, obviously, old chunk loading because this is a multiplayer session. I'm not the one hosting. Tyler is because I tried hosting. There were technical difficulties there. It didn't work out. But yeah, enough about that. We need to talk about why there's no F100 down. Because you might notice that, well, actually you didn't notice, but actually this is what was going to be the version 2 download of my old F100 world from a long time ago. So if you've kind of been with this channel for a while, you'll obviously know that I was going to work on potentially a version 2 in a way of this world.
From what I remember, when you got to 150, that was when I started the Xbox One Edition Netplay app, and I was giving you a bunch of like different details that of course you didn't get quite right in the old 100 world, but by the time you got to 150, you made a poll. Yeah, the clay patches, and by 150 you made a poll basically saying, would people prefer for you to just work on that one or make a new make a new more accurate sort of version of it. And people voted for accuracy over, of course, thingy, which makes a lot of sense.
Now where, people prefer a more authentic experience instead of the crappy video downloads from back in the day. Those who know, they were there back in the day. If you don't know what we're talking about, then you have had to have seen those downloads. You definitely know what we're talking about. But yeah, enough yapping about that. Other than that, though, it was also, because yeah, this one is not coming out. But basically, our motivation kind of tanked because obviously, like, there's a reason people mostly do Java downloads instead of, well, Xbox 360 downloads, because Java obviously has all this cool stuff and makes the process 10 times easier than a console that does not have
world edit or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have world edit, it doesn't have that. So, yeah, that also kind of screwed up my motivation a bit, thinking like that we're never gonna get to a farther point, or maybe even not here again. Because trust me, we have been stuck in like the classics era for quite some time, and we were almost done with something, but then we decided to restart again. But we'll talk about that.
So to lay it out in blunt forms for you guys, This video has some good news and some bad news. We're getting
the
through
bad
the bad.
Pretty much, so yeah. Basically, the bad news is no EP100 V2 download unless I really decide to release this version, but there's no trees, and I think I'd rather release something better.
And also, those trees over there are missing, and also, like, a lot of the issue with this was, obviously, we just settled, well, at the time when Hooded created this, he just settled for a seed that had the trees the way they were, and that was quite disastrous, because... Oh, speaking of disastrous, Hooded Q...
That was a disaster, yes. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing this a lot, and I'm very sorry about that. This thing is not perfect, and that's why we don't really want to share this yet, because we don't want you to break your stuff over this, okay? This is not perfect, but maybe one day it will be perfect. We may never know.
As I was saying, whatever I was saying, I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, about the seed, of course, there was just the trees, and I know you at the time had to fix a couple, and that tanked your motivation because you didn't want to have to fix all the broken trees, because obviously you had already put downloads out where the trees are wrong, so that would mean that your world would be wrong, or in certain back up some copies of it that you have. So yeah, then my motivation kind of tanked because I'm like, well, you want to restart, and we've put all this effort in, so at this point, you know, what are we doing? And then we took a bit of a break. I did a couple of EP on Xbox One Edition with some guy that like kind of came around looking back around summer of last year. Hello! And then it was around about October time when this person left. I'm not going to say names or who they are because it's not relevant. They left in October, and I was like, you know what? I want to go back to the roots of doing an Xbox 360 EP because I realized that, you know, we're doing it on Xbox One Edition. You can't just download the world off from the files. You have to convert it to Bedrock and put it on a realm. But guess what? You have no sign data, so you have to then put all the signs down in every copy to then convert it to 360 for it to crash the game because obviously the conversion. And then, you know, you'd have to do that for every single copy, and I just could not be bothered with that. So I started an EP on 360. And what I will say is that with what we're going to be doing and talking about soon, I am going to be starting up the series of touring back the world every 10 episodes again. So if you want to see that, then do let me know. Anyways, shame.
If you watch, no, I'm not.
Yeah. No, I said shameless plug. I was going to say shameless plug aside.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, shh, don't say that.
No, you just cut me off at the wrong point. No. Okay.
But let me say right now, speaking actually, because there was so much good stuff about this download, like obviously thanks to the recent Lovely World download, we figured out what this was. It's like a weird thing. It's really weird. There's obviously a lot of things that the download had that was so much more helpful in figuring out. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about some good news, I suppose. So the good news is that EP is not dead yet. Shockingly, I feel like it's dead already. But
what I will say, and sorry to cut you off, this world that we're doing, and we are doing another one. I know you were going to say that. This one we're doing is the last one. This is for all the marbles, pretty much. This is it now. And we're going to go into the processes of how we created it and how we are telling you this is going to be the final one with all the reassurance. And if I lose all that reassurance, there's not going to be another one. This is going to be the thing that defines the space, what we're doing now.
Especially
anyway,
me, this is probably going to be my last like Stampy World ever, to be honest, because I've been working on these worlds for years, obviously, and you know, I've wanted a completed world for a long time now. However, because I couldn't be bothered doing it, I kind of just left it to others and joined their worlds whenever I could.
It's also the fact that with the world that we've created, it was back around wasn't it a year ago, you were toying around with seed manipulation to how you could get a better seed.
I think so, yeah. So this seed process, it was kind of a nightmare, obviously, because I had to figure out some stuff, but I think I was able to, get a good understanding about how seed generation kind of works. I will say right now, it is not perfect still. I'm not saying that this is, the most accurate seed of all time. I don't like being that kind of guy, because, it feels like you're trying to take a lot of credit and say, oh, my stuff's better than yours, which in reality, my stuff is not perfect. I am still inaccurate in some ways, but you know what? That's what learning is, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, the game needs to learn a lesson about not booting you off.
Ah, my god! But yeah, no, this seed process was kind of a pain, but I think I got it to a point where I'm happy with it. And obviously I had to do a lot more tweaking with it to make it good, and I once again think I got it to a point where I think it's good enough for me and Tyler, obviously. So yeah, that's the process, I suppose, and I obviously had to do a bunch of different spawn points. It took quite its time, but I think we got it to a point of where it's good enough.
And the one thing that's good about this is if you come over by the intersection between the Helter Skelter and like the kind of like where Fish Me Dish would be, right? What's good is we have the download now. So like what we can do, and I noticed under this section here, it's for a project that I'll maybe talk about in the future. Actually, well, I have on my channel. Basically, we know what this stuff looks like under here now. Like there's a weird explosion and stuff. Like we saw it in the download, and it's stuff that I recreated for one of my projects. And essentially, now that we have the download, we have so many minor details that like we obviously could do them on this world. But the problem is that because all this stuff has been done, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to just go around and double check it all. Like, let's take the slime farm caves, for example. Like, you know, they are doable, but it's going to be annoying to do them in this because they're already done. And plus, there's like the cave under the mob trap and all that. Like, we can actually do that now for all these like older episodes and stuff for the thing. And I guess we should say the next big thing about this, which was something that I did start when I was doing my world back in October. What we've been basically doing since the world I started in October is I decided that because what I was doing with the Xbox One world that I did last summer was copying every episode. So we had like a backup of all the episodes for obviously the purpose of illustrating the evolution of the world and just different kind of downloads if you wanted to do that. I started copying every episode.
Which
and that's gonna still happen.
Going to make public at some point because we decided that exclusive downloads were like stupid as hell.
I think the best thing we're gonna do is the episodes that we have. Why is it being stupid? The one thing that we've decided to do out of all of this is we're basically just going to, if we get this project done, obviously that's an if because we got lives and things are getting quite difficult to work around things. But if we do get this project done, we will release the entire archive folder. Which, yes, I'm aware is going to be 823 episodes of just Sampy's World. Which, of course, is going to be huge in storage size, so be prepared for that. And on top of all that, yeah, it's going to be cool because no one's done this before, and at least published the archive. And, of course, I'm looking forward to getting to these points where we can show world downloads, I think, and this isn't set in stone, but I did kind of say about doing 50 episodes, and I think, with that being said, we either might skip to 100, or we might do episode 50, just depending on how things go, because, of course, we at least want to have something to show. Possibly, this is just because Hood had already did it, possibly a remastered 23 download, which might be pushing it, considering.
No, I think that download definitely deserves a remaster because that download does have some inaccuracies and also some details we missed.
So that is what will happen then, and then probably 50 because we said 50 episodes in general, so that makes sense. Then, what about 2000? I mean, this is stuff that we should probably talk about off camera, but still, just kind of.
I think it's time we stop talking about that.
Okay.
We're still planning all of this, and we're still in the early stages of planning all this.
Yeah, do we have anything else on our list that we need to mention?
I think that's it, yeah.
So, in short, and here's where the news gets really big, because we're not just announcing this project with nothing. We're announcing this thing with already some progress done. In fact, episode 11 is done now. And also, what did you know? You should know what I'm about to say. No. While we're putting these episodes in progress.
I don't know, sorry.
Okay.
You
the Discord server!
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, because, so basically, if you...
by United.
Yeah, no, because I deleted the old server.
Yeah, basically, if you guys are a part of Hooded server, when we stopped working on the project, Hooded decided that, of course, he didn't really think he needed it, and deleted it. Which, in hindsight, was not the best idea, considering Mr. Aiden Okarowski, huge
Hi,
shout
Aiden,
out,
if you're
he
watching this,
put
by
down
the
a lot of
way, you're still
reference,
around.
which we still probably have to this day in the form of the old world that, of course, we did. But we're going to take that reference and amplify it on a whole new level for the accuracy and legitimacy of the project now, and also, I keep saying also, but it's just a good word. Yeah, so we basically have this new App United server, and it's structured very well. So you can talk about anything in there. There's chats for SB 737 stuff, like if anyone's recreating the Awesome World stuff. There's
What the